Here we are again, Fred.
Hi, Clay, how are you doing?
I'm well. How about you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
I'm doing well.
Good. Did you have a good week?
Yep, it was, I guess, a little better week. Didn't seem quite as restrictive, even though it probably still is.
Yep.
I'm not wearing a mask a whole lot, I must admit.
Yep. Well, I've worn them in places where you need to wear them.
Yep.
I went in Menards. Oh, Saturday, I think it was. I had to run to Menards for something, and I could not. I've never seen the parking lot that full.
Yeah.
And there was a guard by the door,
Yep.
and it was narrowed down, and I had my mask on because I know it's required now in places, but somebody didn't, and he stepped right on in front of him and said, "Sir, you can buy a mask for $1, or you'll have to leave and go get a mask." And
I had the same experience.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
so it's interesting times
Yep.
again.
How is teaching going?
Good. We actually have theme week this week. We
Okay.
usually each year we rotate between three theme weeks. We do the 60s, we do around the world, everybody does a country, and then we do the Wild West.
Okay.
And this week is the Wild West, so it's kind of fun to do some of these things, but it's a little bit more tricky when we're doing it, attempting to do it virtually.
Okay.
That's a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
So,
you had last week you had your other hat over here on. Did you have a cowboy hat then?
I did.
Or was this the one that you had on?
Today I actually filmed I did a PSA announcement for my Facebook thing, but then I also did a trapping video for the Wild West where we there we go. There's my Wild West cowboy hat.
Yep.
I don't even know where this thing came from, but I've had it for, good grief, 30, 35
Are you
years.
serious?
Oh, a long time.
Wow.
I don't know where it came from. It's actually handmade. It's there's no brand. It's stitched, but so actually did a video on Friday. We have a lot of activities where the kids can do different things.
Yep.
Instead of just learn about them.
Okay.
So I did a video on trapping and things like that.
So you get to see the kids with their hats or get-ups on as well? Or
That'll
what?
be Friday.
Okay.
That'll be Friday. The
All
only
right.
bummer is I bought a bullwhip this year. When I was a kid, my grandpa, who really was a cowboy, he grew up in South Dakota on the prairies with a ranch. He taught my brother and I how to crack a bullwhip. And then a couple years ago, we had a teacher that took one.
Yep.
And I grabbed that thing and could crack it. And I thought, oh, man, this is great. So I actually bought a bullwhip. And I thought, boy, the kids will get a kick out of this thing. We'll see if I can. We'll try cracking it once. We'll see if I can do it. When I was a kid and learning, you'd swing it back behind your back. And if the timing was off, you'd rock yourself right in the back once in a while. We'll see if I can get it
All right.
to go without endangering
Yeah.
either of you.
Yeah, right. Oh!
There was a little one. Let's get a better one here.
There you go. I'm going to have to get my earplugs on.
Yeah, it's
there
was
we
a
go.
really nice one. You get a loud one. And for those who are wondering, of course, the science guy, what makes that rifle-like sound is the tip. Any good bullwhip, it's leather, but the end it's got string. The tip of that thing actually breaks the speed of sound. So that sound, that crack you actually hear is a sonic boom from the tip of the string, which is it's kind of fun.
There you go.
So yeah, that's Wild West theme week.
You never knew you were going to get such an education on the Clay and Fred show. Did you?
Yeah, well, it's what I
mean,
do, and
you knew that, but
I'm lacking doing this in person these
Yeah.
days. So it's good to be able to educate somebody about something.
yeah. Right.
Sound off in the chat if they're on right now.
Oh yeah, if they're
Type your name.
yeah, type your name if you're watching. If you're logged in on the chat, it's kind of fun to see who's there to say hi, and of course, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them out to us. We do have a couple of guests lined up tonight, so so that'll be good.
Good. And how's our broadcast engineer doing? Oh, he's got to get his mic on.
Yep, getting mic'd in here a minute.
He's making sure
I'm doing good.
you're doing well.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
You said you did some bark today or
Yeah.
yesterday?
Borrowed a trailer today and got 2 loads for myself, and my neighbor helped me. And then we got a load for him of blackwood chips.
Nice.
And we got both of ours taken care of.
Wow. Good.
No problem.
Good for you.
Yep.
It's nice to be able to knock that stuff out and be done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, those are. I'm not a big fan of like lawn work and landscape stuff. I do what needs to be done, but my wife is often the impetus for me to get out there and take care of it.
Okay.
We got Jen Quakel and Amy Rotman watching. Can they say hi?
Excellent.
Hi, ladies.
Good to see you all, or hear you all, or see your typing. Yeah. So how was your week, Fred? Do you have anything?
It was kind of quiet overall. Still not really working.
Yep.
Per se. As long as we're in quarantine, so to speak, staying home, we won't be working for a while. So yeah,
Yep.
it's kind of a weird feeling going on week 7 or 8.
Yeah, I bet.
And looks like at least 4 more to go. Then after that, it'll still remain to be seen as
Kind
to
of a
what
phase
kind
in,
of
or
businesses.
yeah. So do you
will
think as construction and some of the other industries start to take off, that you guys will begin to fill in the gap with being in the industry you're
It's
in?
hard to
or-
say, Clay. It'll really be more industrial,
Yeah.
manufacturing, right? That's really what we work on, and that's what will get the ball rolling. Obviously, construction and all that is important as well.
Oh yeah.
But for us, it'll be more manufacturing.
Got
and,
it.
They got to get back up to speed, and probably up to speed for a while, because they're going to get by with what they have in the way of equipment
Yep.
for a while.
Yeah,
So-
I can see that.
So yeah, it's different.
Oh yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, I can. I understand that our construction guys. I was talking to Joel Clausen earlier this week. They're going to get back at it officially tomorrow. I think. I
Yes,
think Thursday
officially.
is the official day for the for construction to take
Yep.
off. So, yeah, that's good for them, right?
Yes,
Good
it
to
is.
see that,
Yeah,
because
you bet.
building is a
Yep.
big thing in West Michigan here, especially. So
Right.
hopefully that keeps up for
Oh
them.
my goodness!
All right, we've got some guests on here
Look at
tonight.
that big family.
The Bolt family.
Hi, Bolts.
Woohoo!
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
Good. Good. Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well. How are things? How is the quarantine treating everyone over there?
Well, it's sometimes a struggle with being cooped up with everyone at home and not having really anywhere to go.
Yep.
But it's actually been some things we get to have more time to do. Like I do a lot of drawing online, and we also get our schoolwork done a little bit faster.
Yep. I can see that. So, Jordan,
Yeah.
you said you're doing some drawing online.
Yeah.
Is there a place we can go to view these things? I'd love to see what you're doing.
Okay, my mom and dad could probably post them on Facebook or something.
Cool.
But
Yeah. Better give a shout out tonight
there's
while
a-
you're on TV.
There's a YouTuber. His name is the channel's called Draw It Too, and he does a lot of Marvel characters, DC characters. So
Oh yeah.
I've been drawing stuff like Captain America. I did Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. So,
Got it. So do you tend to be a Marvel guy then, or a DC guy?
I'm a Marvel guy.
Good. Yep, I get that. I'm a Marvel guy too, but I'd have to say that the hero that I identify the most with would be Batman. Batman or Wolverine, which is not really in the Marvel universe as much, but
So why do you identify most with that, Clay? I'd really be interested with that.
because he tries to do the right thing most of the time, but he kind of does whatever he needs to do to make it happen.
That sounds really accurate, Clay. That's actually a really
Yeah.
good analogy.
He bends the rules once in a while to make it work.
Fabulous. I love it.
That kind of rings a bell with me a little bit.
I get that.
Jordan, how about you? Who's a guy that who would be your guy that you like the most or identify with?
That's kind of hard. I like Iron Man a lot because he's got a lot of like techie stuff.
Yep.
He doesn't really have any superpowers. He's more like tech and like more like Captain America. He's got like the serum for him. Hulk, he turns into this big monster, but Iron Man is more of just like a normal guy who is really smart.
Very cool.
So-
Oh, it sounds like you, right, Jordan?
How
How about the ladies? What have the ladies been doing?
What have you guys been doing?
Play outside a lot. When it was really hot, we made water balloons and had a water gun fight and a water balloon fight. We've been doing a lot of outside stuff. So
Excellent.
Right.
Angela, do you want to tell them what's something you like to do outside? So that's Mr. Clay, Mr. Fred. Tell them
Hi,
what you
Angela. Angela, what have you been doing outside?
What do you like to go outside?
like.
Trampoline.
Trampoline.
And scooters.
Scooter.
Now, did I see you in a sprinkler?
Were you in the sprinkler today?
Yeah.
Hey, wow.
And you have to adjusting.
Oh, play with Josie?
Play with
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Josie's a good friend, I bet.
Wow.
6 feet away, though.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
of
we're-
course.
Yes.
Always maintaining that.
Right.
Yep.
I
yep.
mean, speaking of which,
Yeah,
that's,
we're gonna share-
you know, we always,
See?
Fred and I strive to maintain that too.
Oh,
We're-
Clay, you
we're-
got a little extra.
well,
milk
you're
in
not-
it.
yeah, you got, oh, yeah, you're right. Hulk, yeah, you're way out there.
You guys are great. You're great.
Yeah, we always,
We're-
we need to lead by example, as they say, right? Or
Right.
I'm going to air quote that.
How about the teachers in the household? How are the teachers doing?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sure. It's been a lot of work. It's, Clay, you can relate to this. It's a different platform. It takes more energy than probably normal because you're switching everything from what you normally do. But I will say there's more flexibility too. So when I get a little crazy, as I think everybody is getting stir crazy or just bogged down with things, I'm able to just walk away and go do a house project and, do that for a few minutes and then come back to the stuff I need to do. So the flexibility is good, but yeah, it's been hard like everybody else between teaching and trying to help the kids with their stuff too. So.
Yep.
Right. How
Oh yeah, I
about-
can echo that.
Yeah.
It's become much more of a all day thing rather than a I'm teaching at school thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But like you said, you can also step away and do stuff a little bit more. So that's there's some beauty there.
How about for you,
Yeah.
Lori? What's
Yeah, Laura,
what's
how's it
been
going?
different?
It's going well. So I'm kind of homeschooling 5 kids, which is
We.
well, we are, but I would say like especially with Justin, he teaches some classes online a couple hours a week, and so he's busy a lot, and so I've been impressed with how our kids are pretty independent. They've really kind of stepped into that role. That's been kind of cool to see. I miss just kind of going into school and seeing people, right? So I'm this huge people person, and it's hard not to be around coworkers and kids and stuff like that. So I try to maintain the 6-foot distance with people, but I would say I'm often looking for people outside to try and chat with and just hang out with. But I think it's gone well overall. Like I think the family took a bit to adjust, and now we kind of have our routine down this way, and it's okay this way too.
Good
Yep.
for you.
As a fellow extrovert, I totally understand that the need for people. So
The
what does
need
an
for-
average day at the Bolt household look like? An average weekday right now?
All right, what do you say? What did you say, Em? How do you answer? Because you haven't answered yet. Go ahead.
So what
What we do?
time do you get up, Em?
About like 7:30.
And then what do you do?
Then
School
what do you do after
starts-
that?
I start school at 9 o'clock, and then I usually end around like 10:30.
Good.
Yeah.
And then you get a little outside time in there, maybe?
I'd
That-
say noon.
That's the morning session, of course.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably closer to lunchtime that we're about wrapped up.
Yeah. And then we kind of spend our afternoons. Sometimes we have things like in art class. Our kids have all been doing like some art online, drawing sometimes. We have music time for our kids because they all do instruments,
Reading time.
reading time.
I
But
read a
it's
lot.
pretty, right? Like it's pretty flexible. But we try to get in all that stuff at some point. So, I'll get you some more. Yeah. So yeah, it goes, we have stuff to do. And when it's nice out, it's just like they're outside going, and it's great.
That is excellent. So I hear there's another member of the household that's kind of new, but not on camera at the moment.
Riley?
Yeah, we'll go get her.
All right.
Yeah.
You have to lock her up so she doesn't
She's
distract
in,
everyone.
yeah, she's in lockdown right now.
Puppies are always chewing on something, so that won't work very well if no one's watching her.
Oh, yes. This makes sense.
Grab her
Makes sense.
Yep. Or we can do it. It's not gonna go well. We can wait.
I can join. Oh.
Hey, Angela, you want to come up by Dad while Riley's there?
All right.
Oh,
So
my
can you
goodness.
see- Can we see her?
Oh yeah. So
Yep.
tell us about her.
All right. So who wants to tell about Ray? This is Riley.
I'll tell about her.
She bites.
She kind of really bites me, and Jordan said she destroyed his Star Wars hat. And
True.
she kind of was like she's kind of biting our ankles. And we try to give her a chew toy, but it's not really working.
Happens in every family, right?
Exactly.
Right. Yep.
So I think the truth is it's hard to stay cooped up and not have other people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it's been kind of nice to spend family time together. So we're able to do a ton more than we are normally with baseball and softball and school and exams and stuff. So yeah, it's a lot more time. So yep, there's a lot more fights, but there's a lot of really good stuff in there too. So we're kind of, you take the good and the bad, right?
Yep. For sure.
Make the best of
For
it.
sure.
Good.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you spending the time with us.
Yeah.
Any questions at all of us? Any science questions for Clay?
You guys
We've
have any
done plenty of
questions?
those.
Do you ask them what their favorite part of doing the show is?
Show something.
How about what's the favorite part of doing this show for you guys? What do you guys like? This is kind of cool that you started this. What's the favorite thing for each of you?
Mom and Joey.
Seeing Clay and Eric.
Well, I was gonna say I've got two parts. One of them is seeing these guys because they're humans in my life for this extrovert. The other one is seeing people like you
Yeah.
because I'm seeing humans, which is what I need.
Yeah.
Awesome, I hear ya.
Yeah.
And I hope people enjoy it. You know,
Yeah,
I really
right.
hope, like I said before, we're just trying to create kind of that back of church, what's going on, chatting with people type
Atmosphere,
thing.
yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just connect with people and try to get as real with them as we can.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
what's been happening. So.
Yeah, good thing.
Yep.
Excellent.
Do you guys have any questions?
Johnny good toys.
Yeah, not right at the moment. Maybe a little later.
Any questions, kids? Anything?
I don't know. I don't really have any science.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're speechless for the
Wow.
first time ever.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's good. Good.
Well, that happens. Get under the big lights and big camera of Hollywood. It tends to.
That's right.
What would be Hollywood? Byronwood? I don't even know what we'd call
Byronwood,
this.
Yeah. Byronwood.
Yes, she
Don't
does.
really ask if it's okay.
Well, cool.
Great.
Great chatting with you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thanks,
Hey,
guys.
you betcha.
Have a good rest of the week.
See you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Oh, that was good to chat with
Yeah,
the
you
Bolts
bet.
and see what's
Yeah.
going on there. That has
Yeah.
got to be a busy house
Oh
with
my goodness.
the kids and the online learning and the
And
new
a dog.
puppy. Yep,
Oh,
good
wow.
for them.
Yeah.
Right,
So it
that's-
sounds like they had a dog before.
They did. They
Yeah.
had a dog for a long time.
Oh, okay.
And
So,
I'm
all
trying to
right.
think. That dog passed away. It was last fall,
Oh, okay.
late fall,
Mm.
something like that. Yeah. So,
So I was going to invite them over to your pool, but
oh, anybody's welcome once this thing once we get some warm weather.
I
Yeah,
know.
we opened the pool this week, which
that's
was
right. Yeah.
did that. I'd kind of in my head I was going to wait until there was a long range forecast of nice weather.
Yep.
But then Saturday came and it was so beautiful out.
Yeah.
We all kind of threw everything we had going out the window and decided we're opening the
Open
pool
it up.
today. So
Good. Good. So
Yeah.
after this weekend, it'll cool down a little bit, and then you'll be ready to go for the next warm up.
that's what we're
Right.
hoping.
There you go.
That's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
And we always welcome guests. I always think a pool is no good unless somebody's in it.
Yeah.
If nobody's in it, it's just a pond without fish. And that's nothing doing. What's the
That's
point?
right. That's right. Otherwise, you just got to put chemicals in and keep it clean.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah, my wife growing up, there was an older lady. She had an in-ground pool, and she finally got sick of taking care of it and just turned it into a pond. Let it go wild. There were fish in there and stuff. It was
Really?
pretty crazy. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So on a different note, so Sharon Ventil
Yes.
passed away
She
this
did.
week. That was a real bummer to hear. I mean, Sharon is my first tour of duty as a deacon was Howard and Arlene and Sharon were in my household and spent a lot of time there,
Yeah.
meeting
Yep.
with them and talking to them.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that all of them have now gone on to glory,
Yep.
which is,
Yep.
I mean, good for them. I mean, you know, Monday night we were actually at Praise Team recording for the services, and somebody said that there, and Tammy Agar said, and now she's up there running and singing and doing all those things she couldn't do.
Yep. Seeing her dad and her brother.
Yeah.
Right? And now it's just Doug.
Just
that's,
Doug, yep.
left. So, yep.
Yeah, so
Not an
we
easy
keep Doug in
time.
our prayers,
Yep.
right?
Doug
That's
and Lee. Yeah.
that's a difficult spot to be in, you know, being
Yeah.
I can't quite imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you see other prayer requests, right? Jerry Hookema looks like he's doing well.
Yep.
And who else did I see today on the prayer line?
Boy, I have to pull up my phone
Yeah,
to look
but-
again now. It was
but
this
still,
morning when I
yep.
looked.
Yep. But yeah, it seems overall that it's hard to know exactly how people are connecting, whether they're calling church.
Yep.
We've been making some calls as elders trying to stay on top of that, but and people have been pretty responsive and
Good.
seem to be doing well
Yeah.
overall, considering.
Good.
So
Yeah, I have to give a shout out to Casey. Casey
Okay.
Dykstra watches the show
yeah,
often, every time, and enjoys it.
Yeah.
And Casey and I text every week, periodically, a day or two here and there, just touch base, keeping up.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I have to reach out to George this week too.
That's right.
I neglected to call him this
Yeah.
week, so I got to
Yep.
reach out to George as well.
Yeah, he's doing well in his new place.
Good,
So
good. And we have our second guest on tonight.
How's your homework? I have no drive to do it at all. So, I mean, I still eventually do it, but
Yep.
Yeah, she's been doing really well, but this week kind of hit the wall. And it's the final stretch at Calvin Christian, so the timing's not awesome.
Yeah.
all right.
But
Yeah.
she'll get her done.
Yeah, I hear you. I have a lot of students too who are just they're just kind of struggling through it, and we all hit the wall at different points, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you have 1 week left, Grace.
yeah, of like regular school. And then I have like a few days of like time to make up work and then like kind of like different kinds of easier exams.
Okay,
All right.
got it. Good. Well, I hope that goes well for you. Carol, how
Thank
have
you.
things been for you? Oh, wait, is that who do I see just to your right, Carol?
And that's here too.
Oh,
There we go,
there's
Natalie. Or doesn't Natalie want to be on?
I can be on.
How's it going, Natalie? I love the excitement with which you responded to that question.
Look at this.
What's
not that.
your question?
Oh yeah. So how's it going for you?
It's going. It's very, very busy with work and school and people at this house, and I'm always busy.
Oh yeah. So where are you working?
I work at Marco's Pizza, and we've been like setting records every week because it's been so busy.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not gonna lie. For our local small businesses, I love to hear that they're doing well. I mean, one of my fears was we're gonna lose all of our local small businesses through this, but so at least the restaurants seem to be doing all right.
Hey, our store is busy. I can guarantee you that. So
Good.
Good for you.
So what do you do at Marco's? Are you flinging pizzas, getting the crust in the air and spinning it over your head? And
no, I'm not very good at stretching. I mainly do the front counter.
got it. So you're the face of the place.
I am.
Excellent.
Good for you.
Yeah, good.
So you're handling all the money.
Yep.
Good.
And how's school going? Are you overwhelmed? Are you holding up all right? How's that going?
I'm hanging in there. I have my AP US History exam next week that I'm pretty nervous for,
Oh yeah.
and so that's been taking a lot of my school stress.
Okay.
Yep. AP is a kind of a different beast because you guys have to. I mean, you have to keep on charging forward.
Yeah, my teacher's given me some stuff, and we were doing pretty well answering questions, but it's still a lot you got to do on your own and remember stuff from the beginning of the year on your own. So
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Sorry, are you starting to review right now?
Yeah, we were reviewing for a couple weeks
Okay.
because it's next Friday, so
Good. So what day is your exam?
the 15th.
The 15th. I'm going to remember that. You know what time it is or not?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
on
The
the
15th at 2 o'clock. Because those are stressful times.
So how about music? Natalie, how's the music going for you?
Your
Are you
music.
practicing?
Oh. I have kind of forgotten about my viola, to be honest. I'm starting to work on stuff for college auditions, but I haven't done a lot.
Okay. All right.
So you're going to hope to play in college?
Hopefully a little bit.
Are you hoping to transform that into a career, or is it something you're doing for fun at this point?
No, just something that I like to do and that I can do for fun, and it's kind of a stress relieving thing. So doing in college, I think, would be a good thing.
Okay.
Yep. Do you have any thoughts on where you're going? I'm just curious. God has these ways of steering us where he needs us to be, but
Yes, I would really like to go to Dordt University and study secondary education.
Dordt, that college in the middle of the cornfield, Iowa's most famous institution.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, there's University of Iowa too.
Yeah, but it's not as famous as Dordt, at least in our circles, right, Fred?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, right. Our itty bitty circle.
Yep.
Itty bitty. We're broadcasting worldwide right now.
That's right.
Anybody on the planet can be watching this.
All the way to Iowa.
Yep,
That's
even at
true.
Dordt.
If there were anyone there, yeah.
Yeah, very true. Maybe a custodian is walking the hall down there, pushing a broom, and he's got it spooled up.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're getting by.
Oh, Anna wants.
Oh,
look at that mop of hair.
Yeah, how?
She has the greatest head of hair I think I've ever seen in a little kid.
Yeah, you.
That is absolutely,
Yeah, she's a crazy one.
absolutely amazing. I'd take some of that right
It's
about now.
birthday next- the black might be
Well,
awkward though.
my believe it or not, when I was in my early 20s, my hair was almost black, very, very, very dark brown.
Wow.
As a little toddler, it was blonde, and it got darker and darker and darker, and now it's kind of reversing itself.
We need to see some of those pictures, Clay.
I'll have to look around once. Carol, so how are things going for you?
Good. Yep, doing good. Yeah, it's weird, but I'm tired of not being able to put words to it. I guess that's my frustration now. It's like we keep moving, we keep doing stuff, but yet there's a hole,
Yes.
right? And so there's that. But no, we're good. I'm working, Keith is working. Yeah, we have what we need, so we're blessed. Not being able to cross the borders, getting old. I want to be able to go to my family, but it's okay.
Well, we just got to build a wall, and it'll be okay. Wait, what?
So I'm gonna climb the
Yeah,
wall.
there you go. So how things been going at church? How's everybody doing over there? We haven't had a staff member on for a couple weeks here, so how are things going there?
Good. Wednesdays are our exciting days when we get to see each other because we record everything for the weekend on Wednesdays, and so we often will get lunch and and we have our table set up so we're far enough apart and all the things. But that's good. It recharges all of us to do what we're doing. So it's
I
good.
think the way you described it as a whole was actually a brilliant description, actually, because it's a whole, right? And when you see people again, it fills that hole a little bit.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, the older I get, the more introverted I become. But I want my kids to be able to do what they want. I want to be able to touch people. That sounds really, I just want to put my arms around somebody,
I'm with
you know?
I am a touch type person as well. That I always tell people, teachers
Yeah.
at school, when stuff is, if you really want to get my attention, you put your hand on my shoulder, and then I'm like a laser beam into whatever you're saying. It pulls me in.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but no, we're good. The Pastor Doug and Pastor Henry have done an amazing job leading us in this. And Evan is a wonderful guide through a lot of this stuff. And Rick is doing all sort of the administrative stuff that, none of us know how to do. He worked on the CARES Act and all that kind of stuff. So that was very helpful. And yeah, we're doing what we're doing. I like to plan. So to have no idea what the fall is going to look like is a little bit, I don't like that, because by now I would be kind of ironing some stuff out a little. But yeah, but it's okay. It's all right. We're all in the same boat. So
Good.
It's okay.
So since you're there on Wednesday, what does your Sunday morning look like? How does your church go for you guys?
We are not a morning people.
Are you pushing for the 10 o'clock or 10:30 service too?
Oh, I don't really care I'm up it doesn't matter, because when, where life is normal, then I'm there early, right? But no, if we have the option, I often actually don't watch the service until late afternoon or evening.
You go to the evening service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this will get me going to night church, Fred. You'll be happy.
Nice. Yeah, we start watching about 10:30. That's the time that works out about right for our family. So we're not on it live either.
Right.
Or live, however we say that.
When it starts up.
Yeah. I do actually, I find I miss the worship time and like the people time, but I'm finding that I'm able to engage more fully because my mind doesn't have to be in 14 other places. Like I'm not wondering what's going on in the basement, or did so-and-so remember this? And it's done. It was done 4 days ago. And now, well, my part was done 4 days ago. The techies have been, working those 4 days, but my responsibilities are done then, right? And so that's been refreshing to me. Like Sabbath feels Sabbathy.
So what it would be like
So
when we
that-
go back? Right? What will it be like when we go
Pardon
back
me?
to the old way, so to speak? That'll be tricky for a while, or
I
not?
have no idea. I don't know. Like we're having conversations. Well, I mean, obviously we'll go back to lots of that, right? But parts of it will be different, and what will be different, and when, and how, and all that stuff. Vision team, Pastor Doug has asked staff to join with Vision team in that discussion. And so we talked, had a long, great meeting last night. And no, we don't know the date and we don't know what it looks like, but we're working on what it might look like. So when the day comes where we're like, go for it, then we're like, oh, what are we supposed to do? Where we'll have a plan that we've discussed and worked on and go from there. So we're thankful for that.
Thank you so much for that work. I mean, these are all the things that I think people like you and I, or your average person, just doesn't see as much, right? All this work and effort that's going into not only making our current Sundays a success, but planning right now for when we come back together.
Right. Well, and we received a lot of help. Jeff Boltice is on that vision team, and Blythefield, the pastor there, I believe, is an associate of his from seminary, and they had already put a document together to kind of work on some phases and things. So we had the benefit of looking at some other documents that some other churches have worked on, and okay, well, how does this potentially work in our context and stuff. So it's been actually a really interesting conversation because you have to relook at everything, right? And that's healthy. That's healthy to look at everything and go, okay, what's this going to do? And So yeah, it's
Yeah,
been good.
absolutely. I think in my head, I picture, let me back up. In my heart, I picture this service where we come back and it's like, welcome home, and everybody, we'd be talking about it. But everybody's excited, everybody's happy, but in my head, I have to remember that we are probably not going to open up like that. It is probably not going to be a, hey, everybody's back, let's hug and hang out. It's going to be, at least hug for us extroverts. It's going to be probably a little different than that. I'd imagine kind of a phased in, I don't even know what it would look like, but yeah.
Well, the document we're working with, there's actually 4 phases, and we're currently in phase 1. Everybody stay home. And I don't know what I'm supposed to, what's public and what's not.
We're not looking to pry any super secret covenant, top secret information out.
Yeah.
Right. And then, a next phase where, where we are able to join, like we could have another family over at our house, because we're permitted to join in a little bigger gatherings, but still not in a large public place and stuff like that. So it's interesting. I would assume, like any other document, it will, it'll get fine-tuned through Vision Team, and then it will go to admin, and then of course it will be given to everybody to see and understand. So I don't think it's going to be easy. Like you said, like we all have this thing, like, because when this first started, Pastor Doug's like, oh, our first Sunday back is going to be like Easter. We're going to do Easter on that first Sunday, right? And it's like,
then you have to think with your head, probably not.
Right. Yeah. So, but it's okay. God has not changed. And we're pruning, and I just wish I saw the end, could see the end result, right? Like whenever you're being, it's like, okay, how are we going to grow, and what are we going to learn, and how are we going to develop in this? Like, what opportunities are we going to take and like fly with and go, oh, wow, freedom has come here, or newness has come here, and what's going to kick us in the behind.
I hear you. I met today with our administrator and a couple other staff talking about our 8th grade graduation and what are we going to do? How is this going to look? And we all laughed about, like Byron Public, Kentwood, Holland Christian. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but a lot of schools said, oh, here's what we're shooting for our graduation date. And you kind of laugh at that. Like, you can't, how can you even know what is going to work right now? You can set a date, but boy, if you put all your eggs in one basket, you could lose the whole basket,
Yep. Our neighborhood is actually, we have a neighborhood Facebook page, and they gathered all the lists of the high school graduates, and they're going to do a great big parade through our neighborhood.
Cool.
Next week.
Cool.
Yeah. And so there's like, I think like 10 high schools represented, right? So I thought that's pretty
cool.
Cool.
Yep. I'm thankful I don't have a senior.
Yes, as are we.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Hey, watch it. That's all right.
Do you have any questions for us?
You guys doing good?
We're getting by.
We're doing well.
I'm actually having last week I had I had a bit of a rough week last week, and this week it's definitely definitely doing better this week, which is unusual for me.
Good.
I don't have bad days or bad weeks very often, but yeah, this week's been really good. So.
And Fred, I guess you're not on the road,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, no, we're not. As you know, we're working, but we're not really working. We as salespeople really haven't done anything effectively in about 7 weeks. So.
Yeah. Thank the Lord, my husband is one of them.
Right. Yeah, Keith works at our place.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's it's different, Carol. You know, it's it's the new normal for us right now on our side, on the sales side, and it's going to be that way for at least a month yet.
Yeah.
So it sounds like. So
Yeah.
just trying to process it and stay positive, stay active. So.
Yeah. Yep.
But you know what? It was great for you to join us, Carol.
All right, guys. Well, I'm glad I could. I'm like, oh, I don't want to, but I'm like, well, what can it hurt? For goodness sakes, it's
Well,
just
and
talking.
that's what I want other people to know who we reach out to and say, hey,
Right.
will you come on? It's just talking, right? We're
Yeah.
just having a conversation.
Yeah. Well, and 2 months ago, I'd be all, oh, I can't talk on my phone with the camera. Oh, but again, new
we've all
normal,
grown in
right?
that department,
right.
I think.
Yep. Good.
So
Yeah.
anyway, thanks you
Yeah.
guys.
Hey,
Have an
you
awesome
too.
night.
Say hi
Thanks
to
for
Keith.
everything
Say
you're doing
hi
at
to Keith.
church.
All
Hey,
right.
you've been doing a great job in the
All right,
children's messages too. I mean, you weren't on last week, but you've done a great
Thanks.
job there. So thank you
Thanks.
for your work.
Thanks. And there's fun packets coming out for the little ones again tomorrow in the mail. So our kids are too big
Yes,
for them, Clay.
I'm aware of that now.
Spread
And
your grand-
honestly, I don't miss it that much. Maybe that's bad to say, but the little ones.
I don't either.
Thanks, Carol.
So,
All right.
all right. Take
See ya.
See you
care.
later,
See ya.
Carol.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was great.
Yeah.
It's good to hear from staff member. We're
Yeah,
gonna try to get
good.
Rev. I know Rev Ev is watching tonight, so hopefully we can get you guys
Yeah.
on next week. It's. I think we get a little bit of a different picture when we bring on somebody that's on staff. You know, you
Yeah.
get to see a little bit of what's processing at church and what's happening there, and
Yep.
because for most of us, if we're not heavily involved in that, you don't know what's going on. It seems like, oh yeah, they're doing one service a week. You know,
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more going on than that.
I have a special surprise from Jackie.
Let's see.
Oh.
From my wife.
She doesn't want us to go hungry tonight.
Oh yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
Yes. Those look amazing.
Can I touch them all so I can eat them all?
I've got more in the house. I don't know what Brad's gonna do.
Well, those are good.
Oh,
Is Rev Ev, did you say, is he listening, watching?
Yep. He commented at the beginning. Yep.
All right.
yep.
Hi, Ev. How are you?
We'll give him 30 seconds and we'll be able to see.
Hope it's going well. Yeah, he said, I was texting with him earlier today, and he said that Dory was up by Jane,
Yep.
helping out there. So it'd be good to get an update from them too on
Yeah.
Jane
Right.
and Dory and
Yep.
how they're doing. And now I've got my mouth full of cookie. Everybody's listening to me crunch, probably.
Yeah, maybe we'll take a quick break.
Well,
Get back to our sponsor.
yeah, exactly. We could use more sponsors. We're still sponsored by Evermore, but
I mean, they're pretty much funding this operation right now. But
it is pretty much solely
Do we need a
sponsored.
GoFundMe page or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we'll be able to manage it.
Are you going to do okay?
Everything's paid for, so.
Yeah.
Good.
So I listened to a fascinating podcast today. I actually posted it on my my Facebook feed this afternoon. So my wife she sent me a text. You got to listen to this podcast once. And I have learned over the years when she sends me something like that, it's usually worth the time. But these guys were fantastic. I got the holy. I gotta remember what the name of it, what it's called now. It's my last thing up. The Holy Post podcast.
Holy Post.
Yeah, it was fascinating. I'm gonna warn you right now. There's maybe if you're there's a touch of irreverence in there once in a while, but that kind of checks a box for me.
Close your ears, Evan.
But they had the post that Jackie shared, and the one I listened to, it was all about, as Christians, how do you approach this whole thing? And it was fascinating listening to these three people kind of talk through or hash out some of the theology. And it's not it certainly wasn't ooh, here's the answer type thing. I mean, it kind of left me with a lot of questions, but at the same time, it was interesting to listen and to process. And there were some things that I totally agreed with, some things that I disagreed with, but it really made me think.
Okay.
And that was it's a fascinating podcast today. Speaking of, kind of churchy things and this whole deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing, I've been really a couple of Rev Ev's devotionals in the morning.
Yep.
Boy, he's had a couple of them that like kind of get you right right there, which are fantastic. I'm glad our church is doing that.
I was thinking earlier too, we were mentioning prayer requests, and you mentioned it last week, and it was on the list. Your surgery still scheduled for June 1st?
I am scheduled for June 1st.
All right.
I actually have I get to go see some more humans tomorrow. I have a real doctor's appointment, so give me a physical, and probably going to pull some blood work and that kind of thing, just to do some preliminary stuff. But yeah, June 1, I go in, and they say you stay over like 1 to 3 days, depending on what's going on. I'm shooting for the 1 day.
And where are you having that surgery?
Mercy, right across the street here. We live just off Byron Center Ave and 64th Street, just south of M6. So we are actually, I could take my bike to surgery.
You could ride your bike there.
I could take my bike there. I probably couldn't take my bike back, though. So
Jackie can take it back.
Yeah, or Christian. Christian's a good bike rider, too. He could take it back.
All right.
So, thanks for asking.
Good,
That's
So as you get closer, obviously, you'll be thinking about it more. Right now, it's far enough away that you're probably not thinking too much about it.
Yeah, I'm really not. I mean, I tend to not be a worrier. I kind of figure God's got a very different view than I do. And he's got this thing figured out, and
you're along for the
I'm
ride.
good with that. I'm along for the ride. I'm just trying to muddle my way through all this,
Good.
We'll just go a couple shout-outs here, people that commented. Of course, Jen Quakel, Amy Rotman, Carol and Grace Christians, Casey Dykstra, Evan Harima, Julie DeVisser. Jackie said something on here, too. The Leaps are watching again.
Excellent.
Oh, wow. Am I sounding any louder, Ernie and Mary? Or Mary?
we need to get the Leaps on.
They commented that it's not fair that we're eating cookies again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if they came in, they could come to the man cave and be guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't comment about the pickle chips, being excited for that.
Oh, yeah. Are we having any of those tonight?
We don't. I need to. It's actually been a down week on the
Oh,
dehydrators.
my goodness.
Are they all gone?
Yeah, they actually are
Wow,
all gone. I
that's
picked them all
awesome.
off, and the regular dills weren't that great, but I actually finished off all the spicy garlics.
And Evan Harima had an update. Jane is doing well as can be expected. She has another chemo scheduled for May 12th. Dory has about 2 weeks before more digging surgery to remove more cancer cells.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, good to know. Items to keep in prayer for sure. Yeah.
Well, I got a game for us to play, and
Ooh.
the audience can play too.
A game with the audience. Let's. What do you have lined up for us,
So I have
engineer Eric?
a bunch of articles, and some of them are true articles that went out on the press, and some are fake.
Like fake news?
Yep. So they're all headlines.
All right.
And so I'm going to read off a few, and if you guys you want to talk, come up with if you think it's real or fake.
A collective answer?
Okay.
And then we'll see what people think in the comments as well.
All right.
So how many headlines are going to give us at a time?
We'll just do one at a time.
Okay.
Yep.
Whether it's real or fake.
Yep. So don't look.
Oh no, I'm not gonna look. I'm very curious about this one. Sometimes you always wonder, like, the more outlandish it is, maybe the more true it is. I don't
know. I don't know if, I guess it'll be a question as to how much you listen or watch the news to maybe see whether it's
and maybe to
fake or
what
not.
depths you believe depravity has infected the human race.
I'd say quite deeply.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And so people in the comments, we're going to just label these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
If you have an answer that you want to publicize, if you think it's real or fake, we're just going to refer to these, by number.
By number.
So write the number and then write next to the number real or fake.
Okay.
So people at home can play along. Our first one is amphibious pitcher makes debut.
Amphibious pitcher makes debut.
So we got to tell that just based on
Is
the
that a
title.
real headline or a fake
It's a
headline?
science question. You know what amphibian?
And it's talking about baseball.
Baseball.
Oh.
So amphibious pitcher
oh.
Be
makes
like a
debut.
Salamander,
Oh.
or frog,
It's
or
not. It's not a picture, but a pitcher.
pitcher.
Yes.
Like baseball.
Oh,
Yep.
all right. There
Yep.
we go.
Amphibious.
I would say that could be real.
You
Clay.
think so?
Well,
I'm
because-
trying to envision any scenario where an amphibian could pitch, and I cannot come up. I'm going to go with fake, Fred. I cannot. I have no idea on this one, but I cannot imagine.
I think it's just my guess is it's related to the person's name, but either that or the team. Either that or the team that they're playing on. How's that?
Ooh, that could be
All right.
interesting. That's a good.
Are
That's
we
a
going to
good
get
pointer.
the answer now or later?
Yep, we got one person. Oh, we got two people. They said it. They were both true, and in fact, it was a true headline.
A true. So give us what's the story with amphibious pitcher?
The little text after the headline says, "Van Dyke becomes first pitcher in 20 years to pitch with both arms in MLB game."
Interesting. So amphibious also refers to the.
No, they meant ambidextrous.
Oh, so they meant to say ambidextrous,
Oh, okay.
but they said amphibious.
I see.
All right. So that one was a little sneaky there.
Yep.
Threw us all
That
off.
was a typo.
I
that
didn't
word.
get the answer right though.
Yeah.
And-
Well, fair enough.
All right, that's one for Fred.
One for Fred.
4 people in the comments all said it was true.
All right.
Man,
here we
I'm
go.
the only guy in the false column on this one.
All right.
Yep.
So I'm the only guy with 0 points
So
now.
we get like a trophy or something at the end of this?
A
Eric?
cookie.
Yeah, you can get a cookie.
Another cookie.
All right, that's better than a trophy.
That trophy just sits on a wall or something.
Right.
Okay, this is number 2. It's a little darker.
Okay.
Morgue employee cremated by mistake while taking a nap.
Oh, the fact that I laughed so hard, what does that say about me?
Yeah, that's not very nice.
So that's number 2.
No. I'm envisioning that conversation. Yeah, about your
well,
son. Sorry.
I mean,
he was-
it certainly could be. I would say it's true.
I'm gonna call false again because it seems like if you get stuck in an oven and they kick that thing on, you're gonna wake up and start kicking the door or something, and either they're gonna be thinking at the morgue we got zombies going on, or we got to get this guy out of there.
All right.
Evan came in, said it was false. We'll maybe wait for 1 or 2 more. Amy and Julie both say it's false. So, Clay, you might have this
They're
one.
all-
Maybe I got this one.
Julie says, I hope it's false.
That's what I
I
said.
do, despite my laughter.
Casey says it's false, and so does Jen. It is false.
Ah, whoo!
All right.
There, one in the Clay column.
All right, next one.
The people on there are doing a lot better than
That's
we
right.
are. At
There's
this
Yeah.
2-0.
All right, number three. We have cows lose their jobs as milk prices drop.
That is, I would say that's true.
I'm gonna go true on that one.
That's
I mean, with the
dumping a
when
lot of
milk
milk.
prices drop, these cows are just gonna quit. They're gonna quit
producing.
milking them. They're gonna quit milking
or
them, and
they-
they're
or
gonna
they-
quit producing. And
Do they produce it, so to speak, and then dump it?
I don't know. That's a good question, Fred.
Right.
I know that if they're going to keep the cows milking, they have to milk the cows,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
So if they
Yep.
can't sell it,
I think they're dumping it.
they're going to dump it.
Yeah.
But then if they're dumping the milk, is the cow unemployed? Because the cow is still getting milked.
But he's not getting paid.
He's not getting, but the cow doesn't get paid anyway.
Well, indirectly.
I'm just wondering if that means that they're taking the cows and they're turning them into McDonald's burgers or something.
All I know is that would be utterly ridiculous. So, sorry. Sorry about that.
Well done. Well done. That joke was music to my ears.
Oh, boy. All right.
Oh, boy, we're going to lose listeners now.
That's right.
All right, most people got that. That one was true.
Oh, all right.
Yep. Now, number 3, number true. Yep. All right.
Excellent.
Number 4. We have elderly woman accused of training her 65 cats to steal from neighbors. This is number
I don't know where
4.
you're getting these, but these are great.
True or false?
Man.
I would say that's true.
See, I'm going to go false because I can't imagine you could train a cat to do something like that. I mean, they're not a dog. They're a cat. They don't care anything about us humans. They just think about which part of us they'd start eating first if they were trapped in the house and we died.
Or staring at laser pointers.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I'm going to go false on that one.
All right. We'll wait for maybe a few in the comments to answer.
That's training cats to steal from neighbors. That would be. What are they taking?
It's
like
it's
little
probably false.
fur balls or dead mice?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Huh.
All right, number 4. Oh,
What
here
is
they
it?
come. They're saying it's false. It is false.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
Clay's
there
in the
we
lead.
go.
You're in the lead now, Clay.
Yep. I just can't imagine you can train a cat to do a whole
I
lot.
know. All right, one more.
Let's see here. All right, here we go. Here's number 5. Well, yeah, that one's kind of. Never mind. Still number
probably
5.
liked it.
I'll tell you what it was. Safety meeting ends in accident.
I can see that. Being
That one
true.
is true.
That's probably true. All right, this could be the winner right here, or we'll have a tie, and then we have to have a tiebreaker.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here we go. The article is here's number 5. Students cook and serve grandparents.
I'm gonna go true on that one.
I would say that's true.
That would make for an awkward grandparents' day, though.
They're cooking something and they're serving it to their grandparents.
Yeah, I think there's
right?
a typo there, but there's some punctuation issues. or
Sounds like
wording,
this
but,
was on the Jay Leno or David Letterman.
Yeah,
show way back
exactly,
in the day.
exactly. That would be a very awkward grandparents' day. Hey, grandparents, we're having you for dinner.
Would you like to come over for dinner?
Number 5 is true.
All right.
How about one more?
All right, let's do it.
Number 6 is goat accused of robbery.
Goat accused of robbery.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Well,
I don't even know where to go on that one.
I want to hear more.
Yeah.
Well, if you say one, I'm going to say the other. How's
I
that?
know it. Now I'm trying to think which one I need to say here. Goat accused of a robbery. I'm going to go with a true on this
Okay,
one.
I'll say false.
I think this one's real. I think a goat could maybe steal an apple or something, but I don't know how you charge a goat. Where are we living in here?
Number 6 is true.
It is true. There we go. The goat. Is there any details
Yeah,
on that
yep,
thing?
yep. Police in Nigeria are holding a goat on suspicion of attempted armed robbery.
Armed robbery.
Vigilantes seized the black and white goat, saying it was an armed robber who had used black magic to transform himself into an animal to escape after trying to steal a Mazda. A spokesman for police in the western state of Kwara said, "The goat is in our custody." Vigilantes saw some hoodlums attempting to rob a car. One escaped while the other turned into a goat. True story.
All right, see, that makes a little more sense. Reminds me of that time I shot a werewolf, but before I got to it, it turned back into my neighbor's dog. Anybody who watches The Office, that's a Dwight right there.
All right. Well, you can't have the cookie on
You're
the,
right, we'll
on
we'll
the
have
set.
to have the
Have to have it
celebratory cookie
after
lap
the
later.
set.
Yep.
Yep.
Hopefully they let the goat on parole.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
And
as
I'm
we
wondering how long they locked the goat up until they decided it was a goat and not a black magic person that had turned into a goat.
Yeah.
A were-goat? I get to be a were-goat.
Did they keep talking to it? Be like, okay, time to transform back.
Yeah, you're going to stay in this cage until you come back to be a human. Be a long
as
time.
we look ahead to next week, Clay, what's on the agenda for you? Anything
well,
new? Anything different?
not a whole lot. I mean, based on the forecast, I'm not making many plans for doing anything outdoors this weekend.
No.
It looks pretty
No.
pretty cold out there.
Yep.
And wet, snowy, and
No swimming in the pool.
no swimming in the pool, no
right.
fishing. I can't even. I actually shot a turkey. Well, that was last week, right? Or was that this week?
Yeah, I think it was last week.
Last
You
week.
said something about that last week.
Yeah, so I've been trying to get out with my dad to see if he can get one. We got out once so far, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get that in at all or anymore or not. We'll see what the weather does here.
How about you, Eric?
What are we talking about? Weekend
Next
plans?
in the
Any
next
plans?
week, anything
Oh.
going on?
Just work.
I mean, I had golf league start yesterday, so
Okay.
I took off a little early work there.
Good.
I took off a little early today to lay some wood chips around the house. So I think normal days for the rest of the week, and then I'll probably put in some hours on Saturday just to make up these half days.
Okay.
And part of that reasoning, like I wanted to do wood chips while it was nice, so I chose to do it today
Yep.
because the forecast looks terrible.
Come.
It does not look
So,
good right
yeah.
now. But this too shall pass.
Yep.
And
Yep.
we'll be
Good.
through it.
Good.
We can end with if anyone has any questions. If they like the game, I think we might have to make that a recurring segment.
That was kind of fun.
I'll do some more research next time,
Yep.
but yeah.
Yeah, so if there's any other questions or comments, stick it in there right now, and we'll see what people have to say.
Yeah. And while we wait for any questions, we could do a little show and tell.
With my boat?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is my boat. It's kind of funny. I'm actually selling it because I'm not. Let me move the remote. I'm not doing anything with it. It's been sitting for like 8 years, so but it's kind of fun. It's an actual. You see, it's covered with spider webs now, but it's a remote control electric boat. Big old heavy tugboat. Runs on a 12-volt battery.
Get on your mic.
Oh yeah. Big heavy tugboat runs on a 12-volt battery, a small, almost like a garden tractor battery. But the thing's fun to zip. Whoop. The thing's fun to play around with, but I'm just haven't used it for boy probably 7 years. So it's like, you know what? Time for someone else to enjoy
Take
it.
advantage of it. Yeah.
I actually think it's sold. I gotta contact the person who talked to me about it. But somebody wanted to buy it, and it was handmade. It came with a house. The lady's husband had built it. She didn't know what to do with it, and I said, "Well, hey, I'll if you don't know what to do with it, I'll hang on to it."
Okay.
And
Interesting.
A couple people commented they liked the game,
Okay.
so I think we'll try that again next time.
oh yeah,
right.
that was fun.
Good.
No questions.
Cool.
right.
So
Cool.
Well, thanks, Clay.
Yeah. Thanks, Fred. Thanks, Eric.
Yep.
Thanks for putting
Thanks
it together.
for joining us tonight. It's
Yep.
it's always fun to get together and see other people.
It is.
Which is great. So, yeah, cool.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, have a good
Same
week.
time,
Same bat channel.
same bat channel.
we're out.
Dude, that game was brilliant.